Good evening. Pardon me. I've got this purchase represents probably the most. I don't know if it's the most impulsive. It's the strangest game I've bought because I know absolutely nothing about it. Um, I just saw it in cash converters. It was, and I thought, what's that? Uh, a Game Boy game. A Game Boy game. I know nothing else about it. The woman in the shop described it first as Chinese, then as Japanese. Her guess is as good as mine. Um, Says made in Japan, but then again, I suppose many Game Boy games would be. Um, yeah, I mean, for example, this says made in Japan. It's not, you know, Japanese in the way that I would describe this as being Japanese if I were to guess at the origin of this text. Um, I don't know anything about Japanese, so I'm not even going to guess if it's Japanese or another related language. The little yeah, you can see that 9.99 of weird impulse purchase, but enough, little enough that I thought, fuck it, you know. It's these oddities on Game Boy, and I suppose a foreign game, a foreign language game, is an oddity in a way that something like Gargoyle's Quest or Castlevania Adventure is not, but it's an oddity to me. Um, yeah, just little enough money that I decided, fuck it, why not? Um, YOLO, something like that. So yeah, it says on this wee sticker, Tenshin Kaisen. Don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Sounds faintly more Japanese to me than perhaps Chinese. Um, Purely just intuition. Um, I just looking at the design on this. I mean, it is kind of funny looking. It looks quite like modern. I mean, modern. I mean, almost contemporary. It's very very minimal, which is quite good looking. Kind of silvery grey. Um, it doesn't really look like a piece of design from 1990 to me. Um, Maybe that is a regional thing. Um, I have resisted honestly, there hasn't been much of an urge. I'm not that much of a researcher, but I have resisted any inkling or notion to research this and find out anything about it because I kind of wanted to share just share the sincere and unspoiled at the point of recording my just the intrigue that kind of encouraged me to get this. Maybe I'll fire it up just now. So I'm kind of guessing it looks like, based on its minimal thing, it's reminding me kind of like that game. What was it called? Harmony or something. Maybe it's a puzzle game. Looks kind of abstract to me. A Game Boy game that was kind of action based would have some of the action on the front cover. With a character, it would have a character on the front cover, surely. Um, that's what I'm thinking when I look at this. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, yeah, it's interesting to say the very least, and to say really no more of any depth about it. Because how interesting does something have to be interesting? Whatever. Um, black screen. Let's try this again. Are Game Boy games region locked? Oh, no they're not. Okay. Let's get a... Whoop. Try not to get all the reflections. Okay. Hey, oh, those are characters, aren't they? $19.90 Meldak. License from... Very Game Boy RPG. So, in terms of the sort of game I would like to play and kind of, you know, definitely kind of a pleasant surprise, but a surprise. These look like stats. My first thing looking at this figure is some kind of money value, but again, it's just the abstract kind of character that makes me think, that makes that look like something other than a letter to me. Oh, he's got a gun. I think I'm recruiting. When I clicked on that, yeah. Is that like not enough? I bet that means not enough credit or whatever. Okay, the female character is cheap. Nice. Let's see. Okay, so let's start round 1. I have no idea what the fuck this is. Oh wow, so it's kind of like a... Oh, cool. Reminds me of that game that AVGM was playing. What's it called? Kami Warriors or something. But it's basically like a... shooter. But kind of dressed up like an action game. Okay, not RPG-ish. Kind of, yeah, dressed up like a kind of strategy kind of game where you recruit. Troops. I'm getting distracted by... I mean, I'm not trying very hard to play this because I'm not even... I've got the Game Boy facing away from me. Has anyone ever filmed gameplay on YouTube like this? I think this might be a world first. Okay. I mean, it looks like something like a Pokemon game visually, purely just by the top-down Game Boy look, and that I love because Pokemon always had this... I think even when I played it first, it had this... I want to say primitive quality that kind of seemed to give it a kind of a nostalgia before its time, and there was something mysterious about it. The kind of lack of detail in the Pokemon and in the sprites and the world. Do you call them sprites in Game Boy? I mean, yeah, the character models and things and the world. There was something mysterious about it, and playing these kind of old Game Boy games that are still unfamiliar to me, kind of it recaptures a little bit of that mystery, which the original Game Boy games can't really hold anymore by being so familiar with them. Okay, so supposedly Tenshin Kaisen. Um, cool. If all I ever do with this game is play it as I just have done, then that was not to say I would spend a tenner to play, an infinite number of games for that amount of time and get a similar pleasure out of it. But that was interesting. That was £10 well spent.